Okay, so we're gearing up. Yes, the carpet is nearly done. In fact, I've only got this hatch to do, that bit there, and this bit here. And then we've done it. Let's turn Radio 6 off. Gaia, the planet Earth, the Mother Earth. Interesting, isn't it? Some people think if we make our Earth and planet sick, we become sick. Well, I have to go with that philosophy. I think that's why we're setting up a big project. Yes, Big Buzz TV is going to take on the multinationals. Underneath here, it's brilliant. I don't know if I can actually go only a few bits here. But the wood store is going to go underneath there, so you can just throw it straight in the fire, which I'm really looking forward to. I'll sand that down. We'll get some eco. I think it's a good idea. Yes, it's all quiet in Lower Fishguard at the moment. So why a project and why an the story of sculptor? I'm a sculptor. I like making things. When I was a young man, and Tom I think he's a sailing person. He's in his 70s with his wife, sailed all around the world, and he likes old classic boats, and he's been in some amazing storms in heavy displacement hulls, a little bit like this one really. And he likes his coal fire. I prefer non-fossil fuel or locked-in carbon personally, but other than that, I go along generally with what Tom says. One thing it is about, you are pretty stuffed without a boat. Yeah, they're useful things. So inanimate objects are quite useful, but it's a deeper thing, and it's a spiritual thing, which I'm sure he would agree with. When you're out there in the sea, you are connected to Mother Earth. That's a rather poor example of it, I have to say. It was being a sculptor and making things. Now, he was a young man. He read the book Joshua Slocum. In fact, he was younger than myself. I'm a bit of a late starter, especially with sailing. And he read about Joshua Slocum sailing around the world. And it's a book which is a philosophical statement, and it's an amazing history book of the turn of the century and the Industrial Revolution. It also accelerated to the industry, which created a lot of exciting things, including renewable energy and our understanding of how our planet works. But we have got people in charge of us who are a bit reluctant to let go of the toxic, mainly because they're making loads of money. He said we don't know. They are rich. They're richer than all the countries put together. They own the World Bank. They tend to deal in fossil fuel, a bit like a drugs baron, really. But I think big. We've got to actually get rid of the 1% who are small. Now, that's the funny thing about the other thing about this planet Earth is inanimate objects, forgetting about, but are also spiritual. Things which are big are also small, like our planet. Well, it's a very small planet. If you go more than a few thousand million miles, it's very small. It disappears, actually, isn't there? So we know that. With the Viking turning around and looking at our planet, it's very small, but then it's very big. And then some of the things are very big on it. And that's the magic of this project. I was very inspired by Joshua Slocum. Why a boat? Why an island? And I really can't answer that question other than I'm a sculptor, and I know these are part of the magic. It's part of the sea. You're connected to the wind. Now, all these things are going to be keys to getting rid of toxic. That's why we have a sailing ship. While we're winding up, or I'm winding up for the moment, being in here. Obviously, we've got the carbon neutral stove. I've got to replace this with an induction hob and some kind of cooker. I'm not quite sure if they do a 48 volt cooker, but we'll have to work on that later. We want to actually have an auxiliary electric drive unit with 48 volts. Now, I've got a Lynch motor, but we won't be able to do that this year. She's a sailboat. So the main thing is we have to fit 2 masts. And I'm really excited because it is sort of, I'm getting to the stage now when I can see light at the end of the tunnel. This thing will be sailing. I've got the rigging, got the sails, and now more or less I've got 1 or 2 little nav lights to do and things like that. But on the whole, she's ready. for a project, and that's a scary bit, isn't it? Because getting the boat ready is very safe and very nice, like being in here. It's cosy. I'm in the harbour, on the beach. I could spend the rest of my life here, popping down, seeing my lovely wife and my lovely daughter, and then popping down here and doing some work on it. And it's nice. The uncomfortable bit is building a 300-foot pyramid and then start broadcasting 24 hours a day, connecting people of like minds all around our planet, non-profit. Actually getting rid of saying, turning off the tap and saying, within 5 years, that is it. It's not banning the obsolete internal combustion engine, but all internal combustion engines will be running carbon neutral and non-profit. And war. We've seriously all got to get together and chat about war. There's a fantastic video on YouTube and about a chap who's in a non-profit company that studies viral diseases and pandemics. And they predicted it long time ago. And he said, look, this is silly. We have to really get together and talk about this, because the Ebola virus, and there are other viruses which are 100% death for humans. Now, that's not good. So obviously what we need to do is we've got climate change as well. Now, that's the other thing our politicians aren't listening to. The oil companies not listening to that either. The banks not listening to it, because we base all our currency on burning oil. They don't say that, but that's what we're doing. Is every time we burn a gallon, they print a pat dollar, which is dumb, but has a sort of strange sense. Then they've got to hide that dollar because we'll have too many of them because we're burning too much oil. It's a crazy system. And so the serious side of this is coming from the people of the planet and talking right wing, left wing, centre wing, communism, capitalism. Throwing all that to one side, we're going to talk common sense, because it's a bit like when you're at sea, it's about common sense. And running this planet, it's going to require common sense, fun, music, laughter. And the biggest thing of all, to think, look, we're not going to always get it right, but we need trust and honesty. And there is no room for greediness. Doesn't mean we don't have lots of things. I've got lots of things anyway, and I've got far too much crap to play with. I just want time to play with it. I've got a speedboat I never can use because I just never have time. Oh, I think everybody's feeling sorry for me now, aren't they? Oh, poor Buzzy, getting to the end of his life and he hasn't had to go in his speedboat yet. Oh dear, and he hasn't even been to Brazil. Anyhow, to the one side. So the project, the island, the idea about people getting together. Now, the other scary thing is that it's a cartel and they finish off things. They do run the world, and that is something that's got to end. That's why I feel thinking and planning big is what it's all about. Not small, but then it's not big either. It's about just what we have to do in the next 10 to 20 years. Not because I want to see a world of peace and appropriate technology. It's because we will become and have more mass extinction with climate change. As for viruses, well, yeah, that's like playing Russian roulette. Our leaders fly by the pants. They are the wrong type of leaders simply because they always do things the way we've done them, which is war, more war, printing money, burning coal, then burning oil, and having lots of gold which you keep for yourself. Now, to a point, then you have the religions, of course, and then you throw in the stupidity, then you throw in the slavery, and you've really got a pile of mess. And I think you'll agree with me, we don't need a pile of mess with artificial intelligence, creativity, and a planet where we have got all the solutions, we just need to put them in place. That's where you come in, that's where I come in. That's where the oddities have come in from boats, building big pyramids. Because our planet doesn't make entire sense. On the other hand, that's not the point. The point is we're starting to understand it by not understanding things. So anyway, it's buzzofftoxic. Our planet is toxic. And as this person said who studies viruses, he said, we make our planet sick, we become sick. And our planet's not becoming sick. It is actually on the critical list. And it's also, if you like, heading towards palliative care if we carry on burning oil and having the same people in charge of us. And I'm talking about Boris Johnson, Donald Trump. Now, they could turn and they may think, well, OK, we're just going to give up and then say, look, I agree with you, Buzz, and everybody else, we really do need to start talking and let go of the past, and maybe they're just not fit for purpose anymore. They were great for wars, but really, I think we could do without a war right now. So anyway, it's Buzz Off Toxic. Now we're going to edit this, which is going to be interesting, so I better shut up. Okay, love you. Bye. That was a broadcast brought to you from TIEDAMEW, the expedition ship, which is starting to become complete slowly, but I better shut up and just do that little bit of carpet in the corner. Love you. Bye.